Hey everyone, and welcome to the Brand Direction podcast, brought to you by BBLD. I'm Aiden, and in this series, we're diving into everything you need to know about building a brand that really connects with people. Whether you're a business owner, marketer, or just curious about how great brands come to life, you're in the right place. Today, we're kicking things off with the foundation of any strong brand: your organizational identity and your brand profile. These two things are at the core of everything your brand is about. They shape the way you run your business and, just as importantly, how your audience sees you. So let's break it down and see how they work together to create a brand that really sticks. Alright, so before we get into things like logos or social media strategies, we need to start with the basics. Your organizational identity. This is all about what's going on inside your company. It's who you are, how you operate, and what drives you forward. Organizational identity is the internal DNA of your business. It's made up of things like your long-term strategy, your company culture, how your team works together, and how you handle your relationships with partners, suppliers, and other stakeholders. It also includes your mission and vision. Why does your company exist? What's the impact you want to have? This is the stuff that shapes every decision you make, whether it's about growth, hiring, or even how you interact with your customers. So, while it's mostly internal, your organizational identity is what keeps your company steady. It's like your compass. It shows you where you're going, what you stand for, and keeps everything aligned. But, and this is important, just because your organizational identity is solid on the inside doesn't automatically mean your customers see it the same way. That's where your brand profile comes in. If the organizational identity is the internal core of your business, your brand profile is how that identity is perceived by the outside world, by your audience. It's how your values and internal mission get translated into something that connects with your customers. Think about it like this: you as a person have one identity, right? But depending on the situation, people might see you differently. To your parents, you're their child. To your friends, maybe you're the life of the party or the reliable one. And at work, you're seen as a professional. The point is, you're still the same person, but different people experience you differently depending on the context. It's the same with your brand. Your organizational identity stays the same. It's who you are as a company. But your brand profile is how different audiences experience that identity in their own world. Your customers, partners, or even investors, they all see your brand through their own lens. And the trick is making sure that what they see aligns with who you are on the inside. Now, why does this matter? Well, even if your organizational identity is rock solid, if it's not translating to your customers in a way that resonates, there's going to be a disconnect. Your brand profile is essentially the bridge between who you are as a company and how your customers see you. If your company is all about being innovative, but your customers don't pick up on that, there's a problem. So, the goal with your brand profile is to take everything that makes you who you are on the inside, your mission, your values, and translate that into something your audience can relate to. It's about showing up in their world in a way that makes sense to them. Let's take an example. Say your company's identity is focused on sustainability. That's a core part of how you operate internally. Your suppliers, your processes, everything reflects that. But if your customers don't see that sustainability in the way you communicate, in the products you offer, or even in the packaging, then your message is getting lost. Your brand profile is about making sure your audience understands and feels those values in every interaction they have with you. Building a strong brand profile starts by putting yourself in your audience's shoes. What are their expectations? What do they need from a company like yours? What kind of emotional connection are you trying to create? Do you want them to trust you? To feel inspired by you? And most importantly, how can you take the internal values that drive your company and make them tangible to your audience? This isn't about creating something flashy or superficial. It's about making sure that what you stand for internally translates into something real and relatable to the people you want to connect with. So, to wrap it all up, your organizational identity is the internal engine that drives everything you do as a company. It's who you are. But your brand profile is how that identity translates into the real world, into something that resonates with your audience. When these two things are aligned, your brand becomes more than just a name or a logo. It becomes meaningful, memorable, and something your customers can truly connect with. Next time, we're going to dive into refreshing your brand, what to do when your brand starts to feel outdated, and how to keep it modern without losing your essence. Thanks for tuning in to the Brand Direction podcast, brought to you by BBLD. I'm Aiden, and I'll catch you in the next episode.